Do you find yourself daydreaming about Gundam when you're at work? Have you spent maybe too much money on model kits or accessories? Today I'm going to answer a question I think a lot of people want to ask but are too afraid to know the answer to. Today we're talking about whether or not you might be addicted to Gunpla. Let's get it. What's going on, everybody? Plamo Therapist here, helping you guys to get the most out of your model kits. Now, the questions I posed at the beginning of the video, I'm guilty of doing as well. I've daydreamed about model kits while I was at work, and I've occasionally spent more money than I should have when I went shopping. The real question is, when does that go from normal behavior to abnormal behavior? And so, before we get into any more of that, I need to talk about how addiction relates to psychology and where we can go from there. Now, truth be told, addiction isn't actually a psychological term. And before you click away, letting yourself off on a technicality, I think it's important to understand that while you might not have a Gunpla addiction, there is still a possibility that you might have a Gunpla problem. And when it comes to psychology, there are two things that we look for when we're determining whether or not you have a problem. And the first one is your impact on your daily life skills. So let's use the questions that I posed at the beginning of the video to address this idea of affecting our day-to-day lives. If we spend our entire day at work daydreaming about model kits, it affects our ability to hold or maintain a steady job. If we talk about spending too much money on model kits, it's our ability to be able to take care of ourselves in a financial sense. But when it affects our day-to-day lives, the three things we look at is our ability to hold a job, take care of ourselves, and maintain personal relationships. And if we can't do any one of those three things, then you might have a Gunpla problem. Now, before you book that appointment with your psychiatrist, I think it's important that we talk about the second topic that I wanted to bring up today, and that's the duration of these behaviors. And here's why. When determining whether or not someone has a problem, what psychiatrists are looking for is a repeated pattern of behaviors. If you spend one day daydreaming about Gunpla, that's not going to be a problem, and maybe one purchase that might have been a little bit more than what you've expected doesn't make for a psychological concern. What we're looking for is if this is a repeated pattern that has gone on for a long enough period of time to show that it has affected their life in more than just one bad decision. It's a repeated decision that's being made. So if you find yourself spending too much money or daydreaming too much and it's been going on for a long period of time, then maybe it's time we sit down and seek professional help. Before we wrap up today's video, I want to say congratulations to Charles Bell, who is my 500 subscriber giveaway. Charles, I hope you appreciate the Glow in the Dark Beyond Global, and I'm so glad to give away that to you. With that being said, guys, if you found some value in this content, be sure to leave a like. It lets me know you appreciated the content. If you haven't done so already and you want to stay up to date on anytime I come out with a new video, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss a thing. Now, let's head back and wrap up today's video. So with the knowledge of what we talked about today, if you feel like you've met the criteria for a Gunpla problem, what can you do? Well, the thing that I recommend always is get in contact with your mental health providers or even your health insurance providers in your area to talk about your options. I feel like a lot of people don't realize that mental health services are provided by health insurance carriers, so I highly recommend getting in contact with them to see if you can qualify for some mental health services through your health insurance provider. Anyway, there you have it, guys, my breakdown of whether or not you can have a Gunpla addiction or a Gunpla problem. If you guys have some topics or some questions relating to Gunpla or mental health, drop them down in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. Anyway, with that being said, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you found some value in this content. Remember, take care of yourselves, take care of the people around you, and I'll see you in the next one.